Hey everyone, I'm Nishagni and this is Nishagni Tarot, where you receive inspired insights to create an empowered life. Okay, welcome to another episode of Books and Tarot. And today, do I have a doozy for you? So, today is the review of a book that I've been wanting to read or rather listen to for quite a long time, and it's made a lot of waves in the literary community as well for its extremely ingenious and atmospheric representation of basically the story. And without further ado, here is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia and narrated by Frankie Corzo. Ooh, isn't this so gorgeous? This is also I think the second variant of the cover of the book. There's one more, but I think this is absolutely stunning, right? Okay, so Mexican Gothic falls under the genre of horror. Some people do, put it under fantasy, but I think, for me personally, I found it to be belonging to more of the horror genre. And initially, actually, when I actually picked up Mexican Gothic, I wasn't really aware that it belonged to the horror genre, so I never really knew what to expect or, anticipate from this book. But I was really surprised by how ingenious this book was. So, Mexican Gothic starts off, it's basically a story of this girl called Noemi Taboada. And Noemi receives a letter from her cousin, Catalina, who has been recently married to a man named Virgil Doyle. And she's living in this sort of a village in this manor called High Place. And she receives this letter, which is extremely strangely written. And basically, the core message is that Catalina fears for her life and she wants Noemi to come and help her and maybe even save her if she can. And the letter is so disconcerting that Noemi's father dispatches Noemi immediately to High Place so Noemi can go and take a look at what's going on with her cousin. And so that sets the stage for the rest of the novel. So High Place is I could say the quintessential theater for absolutely all the horror and the occult. The book, Mexican Gothic, starts off in a very slow atmospheric manner. So it is a slow burner. At least the first 60 to 65% of the book is just setting of the stage. So you won't really, get any sort of interaction or any sort of action. None of those happens. Instead, it's mostly about Noemi's, she's taking in her surroundings, she's understanding how the manor is built, what are the different designs, because this is based in the early 1900s or the mid 1900s. So and the manor itself, High Place itself, belongs to a much earlier era. So it's all about setting the scene. You learn a lot about the architecture, you learn a lot about the eeriness of the atmosphere, and it's as with a lot of slow burning horror novels, the sort of suffocation that the atmosphere brings in, it slowly builds up, and you as the reader or the listener, in the case of an audiobook, are slowly suffocated with the by being immersed in a place like High Place. And it's in the last maybe about 30%, 35% of the book that the actual action happens. And oh my god, I was not anticipating that. In a horror novel, I mean, if you especially watch places like Haunting of Hill House or any of the Shirley Jackson or any other horror novel, you do kind of anticipate, okay, this is probably what you're gonna see. This is, I mean, if it's a horror genre, it has to have a certain XYZ element, right? Mexican Gothic was different. So it is not just a horror genre in terms of the horror element being on the spiritual plane. There's a lot of horror that happens on the scientific plane as well, and that's the only thing I'm going to say, because this book is good and you need to read it if you are interested in the horror genre. Once again, just because it's horror genre doesn't mean this book is super scary. So you don't have to worry that there are no jump scares or anything. So if you are someone who is sensitive to jump scares, or you don't usually dabble with horror genre, because I don't usually dabble with horror as well. And for me, this was my very first experience of listening to a horror genre novel on Audible, and I really enjoyed it. So you don't have to worry, there are no jump scares or anything like that. It's actually a very cleverly constructed book. Upon my initial reading, or rather listening of this book, I wasn't really impressed. But then as I let this book simmer for, I think I finished this book about 3 days ago, and as I let this book simmer, and the more it kind of assimilated in my mind, I just realized what kind of a literary genius Mexican Gothic is. And I absolutely adored Sylvia coming up with this novel. It's a very wonderfully written novel, very ingenious idea, and it really makes you think, at the possibilities of how science can sort of maybe go wrong, you could say, and it also talks of how of the morality of human beings, and where need stops and want takes over, and then greed continues the journey. So it's an absolutely stunning book. As for the narrator, Frankie Corzo is okay. I mean, she doesn't have a lot of vocal range, so if you are planning on getting the Audible version, don't expect miracles. But you know what? You can understand her accent. There's absolutely no problem in that. So the book does make for a good listen, so it's all right. So one more thing I have to say is that, like I mentioned, Mexican Gothic is a slow burner, so you have to be a little patient, because at least, so it took me about, based on my speed of listening, it took me around 11 and a half hours, around 12 hours to complete listening to this book. That is the narration. And for the first six and a half hours, nothing happened, like I said. So don't give up, because trust me, the end is so worth it. All right, so pick it up, Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. All right, now for the tarot card, or rather tarot cards, because I couldn't settle on a single card for this book, because this book is so nuanced and I absolutely really loved it. So I've got like a bunch of tarot cards over here. So first off, to me, Noemi Tabawara represents the fool who comes in expecting something and ends up getting absolutely something entirely different. Her characteristic is sort of, I think, mirrored in the fool. She's this sort of laid back, really happy, flirty kind of a person. And then the changes that she undergoes as a result of being exposed to high place and the horrors within, it transforms her completely as a person. So that's one. Second, as with all horror genres, Mexican Gothic is about illusions. What you see, or what meets the eye, isn't exactly the reality. The truth is often hidden in the darkness, and it's up to the characters and, of course, you, the reader, to figure out what is the reality. And it was absolutely stunning finding out what the truth was about High Place and about Mexican Gothic. Third, this book has a lot to do with That's right, alchemy. And I won't give you any more, but I really suggest that you do listen to this book to find out why it has something to do with alchemy, and why the magician is such an important archetype in Mexican Gothic. Finally, it's about death, or rather various versions of death. And you know what? This card, along with this card, have a lot to do in Mexican Gothic, but they are not exactly, what you would conventionally assume it to be. Trust me, this is a book, whose ending you will not be able to foresee, and no matter how many clues I give, thankfully, you won't be able to find out exactly what this book is about. So yeah, these are the 4 cards that I choose to represent this book with. Fool, the 7 of Cups, the Magician, and Death. Alright, so pick it up. This book is really good, and you will not regret it. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have any jump scares or anything. So if this is your first foray into the horror genre, I think it's gonna be a good one. Alright, okay, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Books and Tarot, and I will return soon with another review. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and the rest of the week, and happy Lamas or M-Block, wherever you're living, and if you do celebrate. Have fun, everyone. Bye.